Welcome back to One Voice Radio Media, and today we're welcoming back a very special guest who's been in the studio before. So, welcome back, Debbie.
Thanks very much.
Debbie is the founder of AuKids magazine. How long has it been? About a year? About a year since you probably about that?
It might be a couple actually.
It could have been actually. It was actually longer than I thought it was. But we've got something exciting today. So Debbie's here talking about the latest book that you've just released, Strange Sayings. So congratulations for that. So you know the drill. You know what the guys are going to ask you some questions, and then we'll finish. We'll kind of show the book to the camera and stuff like that, just so everyone can have a look. First off, Ashkan, do you want to ask your question, mate?
Why did you write this book?
Why did I write? So it's called Strange Sayings and Confusing Conversations. And the publisher, my publisher, actually asked me to write a book for autistic children on confusing things in conversations that might be really tricky to understand. And they originally said, will you write a non-fiction book? So like not stories, just sort of facts. And I thought, well, there's a lot of non-fiction books out there for autistic kids, and why should they work so hard to have to, you know, get through conversations? It would be a lot more fun if it was just stories with little heroes in, just like the people that are reading them. And I also think it's just really important that autistic people see themselves in film and on the radio like now, and in books, and you know that society just includes autistic people in every other creative aspect of our cultural world.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? It gives people a deep down feeling that they're seen, and that's really important for me. So that's why I decided to write it as fictional. As a series of short stories, and I think it probably works better like that for that.
I'd say so. Lovely. Louise?
What is the book about?
So it's 7 short stories, and they're all about something confusing that happens in conversation or socially. So they've all got a little hero in the middle of them, who gets confused about something, or doesn't like something, finds it annoying, and then through them we sort of learn, okay, why do people do that? You know, why do people use sayings? Why do people use sarcasm? Why do people talk too fast? And all of this kind of thing. And then there's sort of a little bit of a device as they get through it. And then the most important thing for me is that there's advice for the adults around the kids as a separate thing at the end of each story. Yeah. So it's not just about children thinking, oh, I've got to change who I am or what I do. It's not about that. It's more about, okay, this is confusing. Why do people do this? And then how do those people make life easier? Yeah.
Do you think short stories, did you go with that format because one long book might be a bit too much, and is that kind of the logic behind it?
I mean, thinking about it, obviously I'm a mum to autistic twins. They're 21 years old now, but a lot of situations in the book I've come across personally. And I remember my son Bobby growing up, he loved adverts, as a lot of autistic people do. Because they're short, aren't they? And they're easy to remember. And I think we overwhelm people too much. So like short stories is kind of, I used to read Horrid Henry. Horrid Henry books. I used to read.
I really loved them.
Did you? Oh, brilliant. They're funny, aren't they?
You used to watch them on TV when I was little.
Yeah, me too.
I used to lose as well. I used to love
so Horrid Henry was dead popular, wasn't he? And I used to read Horrid Henry to Bobby every night. And the same stories again and again and again, like hundreds of times, because he loved them so much. And I thought, well, wouldn't it just be nice if they were short enough to read at bedtime, and then repeatedly at bedtime, and had that sort of same kind of humour as Horrid Henry, a bit like silly and wacky. So that was the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Chris?
Who are the characters in the book?
So every short story has a different set of characters. The person who's telling the story is the young person, and then it's their family and friends. I deliberately made the characters a mixture of boys and girls, so we can see like a little bit about how girls experience autism as well.
Yeah.
Because historically a lot's been written about boys, hasn't it? And from different backgrounds, being aware that not everybody from the same culture will be reading the stories, so that was important to me. The most important thing about them is they're real children. They haven't got brilliant behaviour all the time. They get grumpy, they get frustrated, they tell people to go away.
Yeah.
They don't always want to have explanations. You know, my son used to get really impatient with me. He used to go like, I've listened enough now, I've learnt enough now,
Yeah,
I don't want to know
yeah.
anymore. And so they do get angry, because I think it's just important that people recognise themselves in the book.
Yeah.
They don't think, oh, I've got to be perfect, I've got to be happy all the time, you know. So they are sometimes a little bit grumpy and a little bit naughty. But they're mostly just like really nice kids.
Yeah.
Kids that I've met, but sort of reconstructed.
Yeah.
And then a little known fact that I'm going to share with you now is a lot of the names in the book are from my own family. So they're all my like nephews, my nieces, my brothers. I've sort of sneaked all the names in there.
Well, I bet they appreciated it.
Yeah, I think they did quite like it. And there's a little girl called Sky who loves making dragons, while my own niece went through
Likes
that
doing the same
stage
thing,
herself.
yeah. Love it. Nick, your first question, mate.
Why are some saying in the book so strange or confusing?
Some of the strange sayings. Well, you pointed out earlier that you actually saw Cloud 9 on the front of the book and you quite liked it. I think with sayings in conversations, I've met a mixture of reactions from autistic people. Be interesting to know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Like my own son, he knew that the sayings are a bit strange, like pigs might fly, the elephant in the room, all these kinds of weird sayings. But he actually loved learning them, and he used to like watch Catchphrase a lot so that he could learn them and pick them up. But other people just get confused by them and a bit annoyed by them. And so the idea wasn't to teach sayings in that little story about sayings. It wasn't like, here's what this means. It was more, well, why do people use them?
Yeah.
Why do they use things that don't actually mean, you know,
Anything.
anything
It's
in
just
particular?
words.
Why do they use it? What effect does that give? And what do you do if you don't understand what people are saying?
Yeah.
You know, just giving people permission really to say, whoa, I've not heard that phrase before. Can you explain that? And just saying, that's okay, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes we haven't heard of them.
Yeah.
So there's a character in the second story in the book. He's an uncle. His name's Uncle Graham. Graham's named my brother. And Uncle Graham just speaks in sayings all the time. He says things like, let's get our skates on, we'll land in hot soup, the traffic was nose to tail. And this little girl, his niece, is just, what are you talking about the entire time? And she gets in a real bad mood about it, and she has a chat with her cousin. But it's actually a teacher in the end that helps her to understand what it's all about. Her cousin's a bit useless.
Oh, brilliant. Ashkan, you want to ask yours, mate?
The dog.
Yeah, the first one that's circled. Well, number 5.
How does the book help autistic children or people like us?
Well, I think like the first thing that I really wanted more than ever was what I said at the beginning, that I want people to feel seen. It's kind of like almost nudging the reader and going, do you know what, you're not the only one that thinks like this, you're not the only one that finds this difficult or annoying. So if a young person has read the book and comes away feeling a little bit more confident about themselves, then that would make me happier than anything. And then, you know what, if they know what to do in a conversation to control it better, that would be the other thing that I'd really love out of it. So there's one story about a girl who talks about her special interest all the time, but she does it because she finds listening really difficult, especially when it's stuff that she doesn't know about.
Yeah.
So that story is about just making a conversation work for you so that it's at your pace. So hopefully it's like things that they can come back to again and again that might just sort of improve how they have conversations and how they bond with other people. And I know a few people have already learnt sarcasm from it and use sarcasm, so that was amazing for me to hear.
Yeah.
So yeah, just all kind of acceptance really. That's the one word that springs to mind.
Yeah. Okay, Louise?
Which story in the book is your favourite and why?
Yeah, well there's only 7, but I've got 3 favourites, which is ridiculous, isn't it? My first favourite is the first one, What on Earth is Sarcasm? And that was because that was, when they asked me to write the book, sarcasm was the #1 thing I wanted to explain, because I think a lot of people say, oh, autistic people don't get sarcasm, so don't use it. And I think that puts people at a real disadvantage because people use sarcasm a lot.
Yeah.
And I taught my own son sarcasm, and he uses it himself now. So yeah, they do quite a lot on me. So it's not that they don't get it naturally. It's something that you can pick up. So that's my favourite for the subject matter.
Yeah.
My favourite silly one is the one that's just about a dog who writes into a problem page, because I just had fun with all the problems on the problem page sent in by dogs about jackets that they didn't like for Christmas and cats that bullied them. And so that was just me being silly, but that's just about fitting in, concept of fitting in.
Yeah.
And then my third favourite is the Christmas is Coming, Everybody Hide, about how everything changes around Christmas. But that's because of the illustrator Tim Stringer, who I have to give a shout out to. Tim does a lot for this publisher. He's worked with me before, and he's autistic, and his human observation is just awesome. And when you give Tim an idea, he'll just do it 10 times better than you even imagined it would be. So that story has got some really funny pictures, so that's why I like that one best. I hope I can have 3.
Yeah. Fine with 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas is coming hard. Is that fearful around Christmas? Is that like worried?
Yeah.
It kind of goes under the radar, because a lot of our guys struggle with Christmas because you just kind of associate it with joy and happiness and stuff. But a lot of these guys struggle when it comes to Christmas. There's a lot going on.
It's a complete change of routine, and I worked with another guy called Tim, an autistic adult, who when VHS was open, he worked in the warehouse in Stockport. And Tim never minds me chatting about him because he goes and gives talks himself. But around about this time, all the stock would change around Christmas, and he just found it really, really difficult. He found the whole thing about having trees indoors difficult. So yeah, it's just about acknowledging that that's not easy for everybody. We don't all respond to Christmas in the same way. We don't all get excited. Some of us quite pleased when it's over, me included. And it's about saying thank you when you receive a present you don't like. And why you do that and how you do that without actually lying your head off.
Without looking like you're lying as well.
Yeah,
I like that one. Chris?
Did you talk to autistic people when you made the book?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, because as a person who's not autistic, it would be a bit sort of remiss of me if I didn't. as I've said, like a lot of what comes from the book is based on my own experience of living with autistic people for like 21 years. So a lot of this is familiar, will be familiar to Bobby, my son. Yeah, there's some friends' children in here also. One of them gave me a lot of specialist information on horses. And then I have this friend called Maura Campbell, who's actually up for a Funny Woman award. She writes screenplays. But she also wrote my last book, Just the Job, with me, which is for autistic people on job searching. And so I tend to run things past Maura because she's just got a very, very good sense of things. And she said some of the stories reminded her of herself when she was little.
Yeah.
So I thought that, okay, if Maura thinks it's okay, I'm along the right lines. And of course, Tim, the illustrator, he had to read it as well. So he was like, yeah, I did used to find that confusing. So yeah, it's always important to get your readership right.
Yeah, because you wouldn't write a book about like the fire service if you weren't a fireman, would you? But it's the same like with like you were saying with these non-fiction books and like about autism. Like we have more like doctors can write about facts, but it's not experience, is it? Not personal experience, which is why, like you were saying, you've gone down the fiction route, but you've brought in real aspects, which I think is very clever. To be honest, I would. Yeah, it's going to be better than anything that you read. I mean, facts and figures are just lists, aren't they? It can be a bit boring when you read. I mean, you need to know it.
Yeah, I do think it's important, and especially now, there's. I'm hoping. My son Bobby likes writing.
Yeah.
I hope that he does me out of a job sooner or later.
Yeah,
because we are getting more autistic voices in fiction now, and I think that's brilliant. I don't want to be writing for people or speaking for people unless I'm a good channel for them. Like my next book, I'm hoping to get together a group of autistic people.
Yeah.
And sort of write it with them rather than for them.
Yeah.
And I think we have to be careful, don't we, about speaking for people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Right then, Nick, do you want to ask your next question, mate?
Will you make more books like this in the future?
Yeah, I'm always working on something. Whether it gets published or not, it's up to the publisher. I hope that there's another 6 short stories in me. If this does well, I'd like to do that again. We did, myself and the co-founder of AuKids, Tori Houghton, we did a book called The Ice Cream Sundae Guide to Autism that did really well.
Yeah.
And that was for sort of 5 and 6-year-olds to help them understand their autism. And sort of you heard it here first, but the publisher's going to do a second one of those. And for slightly older children. So I think that would probably be my next one.
Yeah, lovely. I think there's only one more left.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask us?
Yeah, I'd really like to ask you what books that you found the most interesting and helpful for yourselves, fiction or non-fiction. Is there anything that any of you have particularly enjoyed?
Do you want to go around? Nick, do you want to start? Or if there's any like, or any like kind of media or anything that kind of has helped you out. It could be audio, it could be films and TVs, all that kind of category. When you were younger, that really like clicked.
Or even now?
Yeah.
What's your favourite film?
Oh wow, I think I've got a few. But
Yeah, me too. Maybe
I think Dead Poets Society is one of my favourite films.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's got
Chris, what move around, mate?
it's got Robin Williams in it.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
But he plays it straight. He's in it. It's a film. I like psychological kind of films.
Yeah, but like for you, is there anything that you like that really like when you were younger or now? Anything that if you can't think of one, it's fine.
Well, I like the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. I'm from 2020, 2022 and 2024. And also the Mario movie. I'm from 2023. And there's a new Mario movie called Super Mario Galaxy that's coming out in 2026.
I should think Bobby will know about that.
Yeah.
He knows everything
like that stuff,
Mario.
don't you?
Yeah. So you like all the animated stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Any books or stuff, Ashcan, that you've loved in the past?
Any film?
And
Film?
or films or anything when you were younger or now that
Back to the Future, like.
you like Back to the I like Back to the Future. That might be. That's in my top
fantastic.
5.
Yeah. That's a fantastic film.
Do you read, Chris?
Not really, no.
Or used to read or anything like that?
Well, I do read, but I don't read books, unfortunately.
Is there anything that you can think, or even music, and anything that kind of...
What sort of music do you like?
I'm an 80s girl mostly, I have to say, because
yeah.
I was a teenager in the 80s, so I like a lot of new wave and new romantic stuff.
To be honest, I like.
I have moved on, but not much.
My parents.
I like 70s and 80s and 90s.
Yeah, so do I.
Is there any songs you can think of that take you back to like the 70s or 80s that give you good memories of growing up and stuff? And just one songs that you can think of, or TV or film or anything?
To be honest, there's that many. I can't even begin to tell you. I'm afraid. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Louise?
My favourite author is Jacqueline Wilson.
Oh,
Jacqueline Wilson,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch the Tracy Beaker TV.
Tracy Beaker,
Oh yeah,
she was
yeah,
massive.
massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, if I was to give you an example, for me, like Roald Dahl books, like growing up reminds me of like the Twits and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and reading stuff like that when I was young. Cause I can't lie, I don't read that much anymore. I don't read adult books.
Horrible Histories, that was another one.
Horrible Histories, stuff like that.
I love Horrible.
Yeah, I used to love
Horrible
Horrible Histories. It was brilliant. But that's the kind of thing we meant, like stuff that just reminds you of. Like,
I used to read a lot of Enid Blyton when I was little. For some reason, I don't know if you've heard of the Famous Five.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so I like the Famous Five, but not the Secret Seven. I don't know why I chose the lie.
There's too much. Five's a good number. Let's leave it.
Yeah, and I liked Agatha Christie after that.
That was Agatha Christie.
I used to have a new Agatha Christie book every month or so. Slow read. I was just like, yeah.
But that's all the questions from us. Unless you guys have any more on the spot that you want to ask. Are we all happy?
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish off. I just wanted to ask, where can we buy these books?
They're available everywhere actually. So Amazon, from the publisher JKP on jkp.com. And then there's a quick shout out to Simply Books in Bramall.
Yeah.
They stock all my books, and the launch took place there as well. It's
Okay.
a lovely book place, and they have evening clubs there, and with wine and books, which is my favourite combination.
I'll go with that now. I'm not a massive book reader, but wine drinker. I'm going to pop it on the screen now. Have a look, go check out the book. You said it was Amazon. There's plenty of places you can go buy it. If you want wine and books, then go to Simply Books in Bramall. Yes. Can't go wrong. But yeah, make sure you go and buy it. It's a really interesting book. We'll probably have a look ourselves. But thanks for coming in again, Debbie. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been really
no
lovely
problem.
meeting
And we wish you luck. We
you.
hope it does really well.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.